They call me Crazy Jack.
Love what you do.
That's the underlying principle behind Tesla.
Belajar elok, jangan main-main.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this important forum on the topic, should Cgpa be the sole measure of the student achievement? What are the factors should be considered when evaluating a student's performance? My name is Christina Ashki binti Rahman, and I have the privilege of serving as the moderator for this discussion. Today, we gather here to delve into a critical question that concerns our education system: the significance of Cgpa as a measure of student achievement, and we aim to explore whether Cgpa truly reflects a student's overall performance, or if there are any other crucial factors that should be taken into account. To shed light on this issue, we have assembled a distinguished panel of experts who brings their unique perspective and experiences. Let me introduce our esteemed panelists. First, we have Yang Berhormat Mrs. Aina Farhana binti YUSRI AZAM, the Minister of Education, who brings a comprehensive understanding of our education system and its policies. Joining us is Dr. AWATIF YUMNI binti SUBIA, a senior lecturer of Faculty of Business Administration at UiTM Puncak Alam, whose expertise in academy will provide valuable insights. We also have Professor NURUL binti ROSLI, the head counselor of FBA UiTM Puncak Alam, who brings a deep understanding of student well-being and counseling services. Ms. SHAFIQAH binti RAZIMIN, the President of the Student Representative Council at UiTM Puncak Alam, will share her perspective as a student leader. Ms. SUSHI EMILIA binti RASHID, representing the College Representative Committee of Rafiziah College, brings first-hand experience as a student to discuss the topic. Lastly, we have Ms. AQILAH binti MOHAMAD HAFIZ, the Principal of SMK Puncak Alam 3, who will provide insights from the perspective of a school administrator. Each panelist will offer their unique viewpoints and expertise, allowing us to explore this topic comprehensively. Now, without further ado, I invite our first panelist, Yang Berhormat Mrs. Aina Farhana, the Minister of Education, to share her insight on the issue. Ms. Yus, the floor is yours.
First and foremost, thank you for putting your trust in me as your panel this evening. As Minister of Education, I would like to express my strong feelings about why Cgpa should be the benchmark of a student's performance. I have read an article that guides me as an eye-opener to why Cgpa is important. Importance of Cgpa by the Daily Star says, Cgpa is the reflection of a student's effort in completing their assignments. How do they tend to maintain their work if they are lazy or do not put much effort in getting their jobs done? Only those who practice the most wins the competition. So does Cgpa. Only those who did a great research will attain good marks in their assignment. It would be much better if they even contributed to their faculty society. Talking more about this is that the world is evolving in the digital era. For students to gain such information to get their work done has not been the same as my era, in which I have to go to cyber cafes just to have better connections to print out my thesis. I strongly believe most students nowadays even have better specification of their gadgets. There will be no outrageous reasons they could not make it. Yes, Cgpa should be the benchmark of a student's performance. In fact, the reality of working companies is that they are keen to find those who score with a good Cgpa. As for the company, they are able to solve problems with their experience, knowledge, and critical thinking. I stick to my words. I agree that Cgpa should be the parameter of a student's performance. That is all from my point of view as for now.
I apologize for interrupting you, Yang Berhormat Mrs. Aina, but I believe that your explanation is quite doubtful since there isn't much solid evidence to back it up.
Thank you, Yang Berhormat Mrs. Aina and Ms. SHAFIQAH, for sharing your valuable insight and supporting them with evidence. Now, it's my pleasure to invite Dr. AWATIF, the esteemed senior lecturer of the Faculty of Business Administration at UiTM Puncak Alam, to offer her unique perspective on the matter at hand. Dr. AWATIF, We eagerly await your valuable contribution to the forum.
Thank you, Miss Christina, for having me today. In my role as senior lecturer of FBA UiTM Puncak Alam, I think that other factors should be taken into consideration when evaluating a student performance other than CGPA. Based on an article I have read, Stop Caring About Your Grades So Much, I firmly believe that CGPA should not be the only indicator of a student progress. While grades are significant, they do not fully reflect a student accomplishment. It is crucial to take into account other elements that affect a student's success. Leadership abilities, which go beyond the academic environment, are an important element. Students that display leadership qualities via extracurricular pursuit, employment, or participation in student government roles are able to take the initiative, motivate others, and successfully lead teams or projects. Effective communication, solid judgment, problem solving, and the capacity to inspire and work with others are all examples of leadership abilities. Strong communication abilities help leadership to properly express their vision, create open decision, and transmit ideas. Making decision requires to the ability to weigh multiple viewpoints and facts. It needs problem solving skill to recognize problem, investigate their sources, and come up with creative solution. Collaboration and motivational abilities enable leader to capitalize on the talent of the team and promote camaraderie. Assessing student leadership abilities offer valuable information about their capacity to contribute positively in variety of circumstances. These abilities enable people to successfully traverse complexity, spur change, and advance their careers as well as their academic careers. In addition to academic success, educator and assessor may better understand a student capabilities and potential by taking into account other qualities like leadership skill. This all-encompassing assessment recognize the value of holistic growth and give pupils the tools they need to succeed beyond the limits of grades. Okay, that's all. I think that's all from me. I'm going to pass it back over to our moderator now. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. AWATIF. Your insights will surely contribute to our ongoing efforts in ensuring a conducive environment for the growth and development of our students. Now, I have the privilege of inviting Prof. NURUL AHYA, the Head Counselor of FBA UiTM Puncak Alam, to grace us with her invaluable perspective on this pressing issue.
Thank you to the most wonderful Miss Moderator for having me here. As I am the Professor of Head Counselor of FBA UiTM Puncak Alam, in my point of view, I have noticed that everything about high CGPA is advantageous. I agree that achieving a high CGPA can guarantee the students in getting accepted to a good university. In addition, a student with a high CGPA could get more recognition and have more opportunities available to them. Based on the analysis by International Academic Research Journal of Social Science, it described that self-motivation, teaching, learning process, and attitude towards the course had significant effects on students' CGPA. This means that high self-motivation of students will give a better results of students' CGPA. Conducive teaching and learning process and the students' attitude towards their courses may have a great impact on their CGPA, as mentioned by Zanatun Ihsan and Lilia Halim. By having a bigger impact in achieving higher CGPA, the students can easily get into the selected universities. CGPA is the sole reason in order to have a brighter future to pursue the studies. As the final thing, I would say having a good CGPA can get you a seat in your name, but the key to further success comes from experiences and skills. The domains like technology, finance, accounting, and engineering still use CGPA as their main metric in initial evaluation of candidates, because these are highly competitive sectors and CGPA is one of the key indicators of competence. That's basically all for me. Thank you for lending me all of your ears. Do correct me if any of my points are wrong.
I'm sorry, I have to disagree. While I appreciate the perspective shared by the panelists, I also would like to present my counter-argument regarding the exclusive focus on CGPA as a primary measure of a student's capability and future success. I understand the viewpoint expressed by Professor AHYA, but it is important to consider a broader perspective on the significance of CGPA. While a high CGPA can be seen as advantageous, it doesn't always reflect a student's true potential or abilities. academic performance, which CGPA primarily measures, relies heavily on exams and assignments only, which overlook other essential skills like critical thinking, creativity, communication, and practical knowledge that are crucial for the real-world success. Moreover, Professor AHYA also had mentioned that CGPA holds significance in competitive sectors such as technology, finance, accounting, and engineering. While CGPA may serve as an initial screening tool, employers in these fields often prioritize practical skills, relevant work experience, and problem-solving abilities over academic achievements alone. Real-world projects, internships, and networking play a vital role in career advancement and securing employment opportunities. I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Having heard the valuable insights from AHYA and Ms. Sushi, let's keep their thoughts close to heart as we strive to cultivate an environment that nurtures our students' progress and advancement. Now, the spotlight turns to Ms. Shafiqah, the esteemed President of the Student Representative Council at UiTM Punchala. Ms. Shafiqah, the floor is yours.
Thank you for having me today. In my role as President of the Student Representative Council at UiTM Punchala, I believe that the CGPA should not be the only indicator of student achievement and that there are other factors that should be included when measuring a student's performance beside the CGPA. According to the article I've been reading, Afri Irham's Why I Stopped Caring About CGPA is a personal reflection on the author's choice to keep caring about CGPA. Based on the article, there are other factors that are more significant than CGPA as a success indicator. The author begins by sharing their own experience of growing up in a family that places a high priority on achievement and academic success. The author acknowledges that in the past they were highly concerned about their CGPA and worked very hard to get an A in every subject. The author, however, come to the realization that success cannot simply be measured by CGPA and that there are other more crucial factors. The author believes that rather than concentrating entirely on their CGPA, students should concentrate on growing their capacities, getting experience, and seeking their passions. According to the author, a student's CGPA does not accurately reflect their skills and does not take into consideration additional important factors that are essential to their success. The author advises students to concentrate on sharpening their strengths and obtaining experience through extracurricular activities, internship, and volunteering. The authors claim that the CGPA is not the only indicator of academic success has been supported by research. For instance, research indicated that while the CGPA of students was used as a measure of academic achievement, other elements including motivation, student techniques, and social support also had a substantial impact on a student's academic success. In another study, the moderating effect of race, first-generation status, academic self-confidence, a sense of belonging, and late registration on academic success were not shown to be significant.
I heard your opinion and I appreciate that, Ms. Shafiqah, but if you are looking for my opinion, I disagree with the point spoken. As for why, I believe universities give other exposure to these youngsters about why maintaining CGPA is important as it evaluates how well you are doing in schools. If the CGPA is not the benchmark for students' performances, why is that student that obtains below 2.5 CGPA, depending on university's regulations, is getting expelled from the university? I wonder if they are doing their studies well as a student. Based on my readings on article by measuring student performance and academic growth by having a good performance, lecturers or teachers might evaluate how much the learning has occurred. Learning is a process of time and is giving us a very long-term effect, thus it represents their work in grouping and individuals. Imagine one is not able to communicate well. How will they complete their work that consists of grouping? For more, referring to an article that I've read by Podium School says, CGPA ensures fairness and consistency that results in their examination results. This is due to all students having a standardized syllabus, learning standard irrespective of their experiences, contents, and teachers. It is likely to be true CGPA does motivate students to work harder if they are not able to perform well in the past term. and help them to revive and rejuvenate themselves from upcoming failure. We cannot be in our comfort zone for too long. Life is challenging and we cannot sugarcoat that having a low CGPA is okay for our performances. I believe I have pointed out all of my points here. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Shafiqah and Yang Berhormat Ms. Yus, for sharing your valuable perspective and backing it up with evidence from the articles provided. Next up, let's hear from the dynamic Ms. SUSHI EMILIA, the spirited voice representing the College Representative Committee of Rafflesia College. The floor is yours, Ms. SUSHI.
Thank you, Ms. Moderator. As the College Representative Committee of Rafflesia College, my view on this topic is that CGPA is not always an accurate reflection of a student's performance. While it is important to acknowledge the significance of CGPA, we must also consider the other factors that contribute to a student's overall growth and success. Based on the article I've read, the author Nick Cairo, he shared examples of successful people who did not excel academically but still achieve remarkable success. Take Mark Zuckerberg and Bill Gates. For example, they dropped out of college, Harvard, yet their real-world success surpassed their CGPA. This shows that CGPA might help with initial screening, but it doesn't guarantee long-term success. The author also highlights the case of students with excellent grades, stumbling in thesis presentations and interviews due to their poor soft skills. This student might excel academically, but will find it challenging to effectively communicate their potential to others. This evidence supports the claim that some students may prioritize CGPA over important soft skills, which may lead to difficulties in real-life scenarios. And based on another article I've read, the author, tutor doctor, emphasizes the significance of effort, improvement, and participation in class as indicators of a student's success. It's crucial to recognize and reward students who show progress, even if their grades may not be at top. By doing so, we can foster a positive attitude toward education and encourage a growth mindset. This evidence provides insights into alternative ways of evaluating student achievement that focus on effort and growth, rather than just grades. To conclude, CGPA is important, but not the sole measure of a student's achievement. Real-life success depends on soft skills, effort, and attitude. We should encourage a balanced approach, recognizing the value of both academic performance and holistic development. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. SUSHI EMILIA, for sharing your viewpoint on this issue. Now, I would like to invite Ms. Wan AQILAH, the principal of SMK Puncak Alam 3, to share her perspective on this issue.
Thank you for inviting me to participate in this session. As the principal of SMK Puncak Alam 3 with 7 years of experience in NURUL, I have observed that in order for students to spread their wings broadly, they must excel in knowledge, bilingual proficiency, thinking skills, ethics, and spirituality, leadership skills, and national identity. I agree that the cumulative grade point average CGPA should be the only determinant of students' accomplishment. As we all know, CGPA provides a standardized and common method of evaluating students across the course, disciplines, and institutions. It enables the use of standardized metric that is simple to understand and compare. The greater the CGPA, the better, because it frequently shows a constant work and perseverance in sustaining strong academic achievement throughout the academic journey. It demonstrates the student's commitment to learning, studying, and completing tasks efficiently over a long period of time. According to an article I observed in the New Straits Times titled Overall Performance Improves, the student cohort of students in Malaysia to go through the Higher Order Teaching Skills HOTS system has finished its Sijil Pelajaran Malaysia SPM examination. This enhancement shows that HOTS is useful in strengthening critical thinking abilities and encouraging intellectual growth. Students are taught to think critically and analyze information and use their knowledge to solve complicated issues under the HOTS method. This method encourages a more thorough and holistic comprehension of the subject topic, which can improve students' performance in exams and evaluations. Students are forced to think critically and examine diverse views and develop analytical abilities rather than depending primarily on memory. I believe that the HOTS method can have a beneficial influence on students' academic performance and perhaps lead to an increased CGPA by encouraging critical thinking abilities and creating a better comprehension of the subject matter. That's it from my perspective. I appreciate you and listening and participating in this debate. Thank you for taking the time to listen to my viewpoint.
I am sorry for interrupting, but the talk was wonderful, Miss Aqilah, and I appreciate those point of views. By attaining good grades, they are able to think without or even out of the box.
Thank you Yang Berhormat Mrs. Aina for your opinion. So, Prof. Nurul AHYA, what about your point of view from our topic today?
Thank you again, Miss Moderator. In another post that I have discovered, Ashik Anwar from the Daily Star stated that CGPA is frequently used as the primary meter when applying for or being evaluated for a job. This is done not to have the company a throughout picture of the candidate's skills, but to narrow the list of applications. Generally, during the job interviews, if a student graduates with a minimal or a low CGPA to meet the circular criteria, companies tend to focus on their skills rather than their grades. He added, the CGPA or grades are undoubtedly key components of this package, but they are not the only ones. Other vital qualities must be acquired in order to be a flexible asset for any company. This includes self-awareness, critical thinking, effective communication, decision-making, creative thinking, problem-solving, empathy, and the ability to form interpersonal relationships. If a person can earn a high enough CGPA while still gaining relevant life skills and experience, they will be the full package that companies look for when hiring. Furthermore, always try to build and expand your network. The bigger network, the higher will be the chances for you to get a job offer. This is the current worldwide trend and will remain so for at least the next few decades. As many other people are aware, it is difficult to find work these days. Consider having a degree with a flawless CGPA. Within a corporation, we may be able to earn a greater pay or even grow in our professions. So as for me, I believe that CGPA is the sole measure of a student's future achievement. I believe that's all from my point of view.
The evidence you mentioned sounds valid because it recognizes that CGPA is often considered when evaluating job application. However, I would like to respectfully disagree with the notion that CGPA is the sole measure of students' future development and achievement. You see, academic grades, while important, don't point a complete picture of an individual's abilities and potential for success in the professional world. There are several other crucial factors that should be taken into account when assessing job candidates. It's essential to consider their practical skills, their soft skills, their experiences, and their personal qualities that contribute to their overall suitability for a role. It's also important to note that career growth and higher pay are not guaranteed solely based on academic performance. Employers increasingly value diverse skill sets and experiences. They seek individuals who can bring a well-rounded perspective and contribute in various ways. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss SUSHI EMILIA. That is quite a good opinion. Alright, let's move to our next panel, Dr. AWATIF. What do you think about this topic?
Thank you, Ms. Christina, for having me today again. In my role as a senior lecturer of FBA UiTM Puncak Alam, I think that other factors should be taken into consideration when evaluating a student performance other than CGPA. According to another article I have learned, defining and measuring academic success, CGPA is not the most accurate indicator of student progress. The author makes the point that non-academic aspects like extracurricular activities, employment history, and personal development are not taken into consideration by the CGPA. The author also makes the case that elements including the difficulty of the student taken, of the courses taken, the grading scheme used, and the student particular learning style might have an impact on CGPA. I agree with the article author. The cumulative grade point average CGPA is a helpful indicator of academic success, but it is not the only one. The achievement of students is affected by a wide range of other factors. Personal development is an important aspect of student development and should be taken seriously when measuring their performance. It includes a variety of qualities, including self-awareness, maturity, resilience, and the capacity to grow from failures. Understanding a student's ability to overcome obstacles, handle pressure, and constantly develop is possible via the assessment of personal progress. A student's degree of emotional intelligence, responsibility, and independence are reflected in their maturity. It indicates their capacity for deliberation and responsibility management. Resilience highlights a person's capacity to recover from failures, losses, or challenging situations, highlighting their powers of determination and fortitude. Self-awareness, which represents a student's understanding of their strengths, shortcomings, and personal value, is essential for personal progress. It demonstrates their capacity to identify areas for development and activity. Look for chance for progress. Learning from errors and failures shows a student's desire to consider their experience, see opportunities for improvement, and make the required correction. It demonstrates their capacity to use difficulties as instructive opportunities. A comprehensive understanding of a student's character and willingness to take on new change and challenges may be gained through evaluating personal progress. It emphasizes their versatility, readiness to leave their comfort zone, and dedication to personal growth. That's all from me. I'm going to pass it back over to our moderator now. Thank you.
Thank you to both Dr. AWATIF for contributing the information from her perspective finding on her own. Next, we will be hearing more on the agreement part from Ms. AQILAH.
Mrs. Christina, thank you once again. It's really appreciated. According to another article I have studied, the author Azri Azizan mentions Malaysian student Irina Shahimai, who received the Yayasan Tenaga Nasional YTN scholarship and maintained a cumulative grade point average Cgpa of 4.0. It has demonstrated that Cgpa may be used as the only indicator of students' achievement. Cgpa may assist students in obtaining a scholarship and frequently increase the odds of obtaining a scholarship. A high cumulative grade point average Cgpa reflects a student's dedication to their studies, academic brilliance, and capacity to meet or surpass expectations. While a higher Cgpa increases the chance of securing a scholarship, it is important for students to showcase their diverse talents and achievements beyond academics to stand out among the other applicants. A well-rounded profile that exhibits both academic success and non-academic achievements can significantly boost students' chance of getting a scholarship. In other words, while the higher order thinking skills, hot system, and scholarship possibilities can help a student's cumulative grade point average Cgpa, I also believe that getting a scholarship is extremely competitive, with many applications vying for limited funds. One of the parameters used to discriminate between applicants and select the most deserving candidates is Cgpa. To give the full assessment of students' achievements, a holistic evaluation that takes into account critical thinking, problem solving, ability, practical skills, extracurricular activity, character development, and other characteristics is required. Although Cgpa, HOTS, and scholarship are important, a broader view is required to recognize individuals' various abilities and potential. I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Although I have a different argument, I still agree with your evidence that you put forward, because the argument you drew is supported by valid points and highlights the importance of Cgpa in evaluating students' achievement. However, I also like to add that while maintaining a high Cgpa is important for securing scholarship, it's crucial to also remember that Cgpa alone doesn't capture students' full range of capabilities and potential. To truly evaluate a student's achievements, a holistic approach is necessary. This means considering not only Cgpa but also critical thinking skills, problem-solving abilities, practical skills, character development, and other qualities that contribute to overall growth of that student. And the high-order thinking skills, HOTS system mentioned earlier, can be a valuable tool in assessing critical thinking abilities, which are highly sought after in higher education and beyond. That's all from me. Thank you.
That's a great pleasure to learn many new information that has been shared by both of the panel, even though they have their own perspective. Now, I'll pass again to the next panel, which is Ms. SHAFIQAH, to continue her disagreement on this topic.
Thank you again, I appreciate it. In the second article I've been studying, Danish Han, the author, argues the point that employers value skill more than a CGPA, since skills indicate a student's ability to apply concept from theory to real-life situations. The article presents the argument that although an essential indication of academic achievement, the academic is limited in its capacity to demonstrate a student's skills and abilities. Co-curricular activities, social support, and personal interests are just a few of important factors that the CGPA put aside to take into consideration when measuring a student's overall performance. The article points out the value of soft skills in the job market, such as communication skills, teamwork skills, leadership skills, time management, and problem-solving skills. Graduates with the abilities required to be successful in their careers and the ability to apply concepts from theory to everyday situations are in high demand. Although a student's CGPA reveals their broad abilities, it does not offer an accurate assessment of their skills and abilities in particular areas. As a result, rather than depending completely on a student's CGPA, it is crucial to take several factors into consideration when measuring their skills and abilities. The author, Danish Han, suggests that co-curricular activities, social support, and personal interests are important factors that contribute to a student's overall performance. These factors can have a significant impact on a student's skills and abilities, but they are not reflected in their CGPA. Therefore, it is important to consider these factors when evaluating a student's skills and abilities. That's it from my point of view. I appreciate you giving me your time.
Thank you to everyone on the panel today. Finally, our forum has come to a close. During it, we discussed a lot of information that neither of us knew nor had previously considered. According to what our panelists have just said, many factors should be taken into consideration when evaluating a student's performance other than a CGPA. But the factor of CGPA is also a good factor too. So, is it up to students how they manage themselves and their time wisely? Therefore, it is everyone's right to decide how to handle it. The conclusion of the forum seems to be indicated by the replies given by the panelists. I want to express my gratitude to the panelists for contributing their ideas. Thank you and Assalamualaikum.